You know you right over the target when the left send out the witches. The witches come out, y'all, when the pressure's on them. Yeah, man, they done sent 3 witches out to go after Jim Jordan because he announced that he is going to be running for Speaker of the House. That's right. So let's get into these witches and see what they been brewing up, dang on it. Before we start this video, I got a new sponsor, y'all. Yeah, check it out. China's real estate bubble is absolutely collapsing. In 2008, when the subprime mortgage crisis nearly ended capitalism, housing was 8% of the US GDP, while housing is 25% of China's. This is an epic meltdown and it's just beginning. Meanwhile, in the United States, inflation is so high that the Federal Reserve is talking about raising interest rates even further, choking the credit out of the economy completely. Everything is expensive. But gold is perfect for this environment, but it is near all-time highs already. So I want to present a company called Gold Mining Inc., trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticket DLGD. The reason is that this is a company that trades at multi-year lows, extremely cheap. Their gold resources are worth only $1 per ounce. If you go to wealthresearchgroup.com/cheap gold, there's an entire presentation explaining how this company is effectively 80 or 90% more discounted than anything out there. If you're bullish on gold, I urge you to stop everything you're doing and download this carefully drafted report now. There's a company overview right in the description area underneath this video, and I encourage you to check it out. So even though there's no guarantee when it comes down to investments, I tell you what, it gotta be a better risk to go with this than what's going on right now in the economy. So check out the links below, and now let's get to this video. Y'all know I've been doing a fundraiser, a $5 a month fundraiser. If you can help out, please do so. The link's right below this video, if you can, okay? If you can't, I get it. Please check out the link below if you want to participate in that. Now, let's go ahead and get into these 3 witches, man. Starting off with one of them from The View.
I will just say about Jim Jordan, he has been called by his own party, by John Boehner, a political terrorist. He's also been linked to the Ohio State sexual abuse scandal. I testified in front of Congress about something so simple, cameras in courtrooms. He came in late, he looked disheveled, and he immediately was screaming and yelling and terrorized me and the other experts on the panel. And describing him as a terrorist is exactly that. He's a chaos agent, and it came out of nowhere, and he had no command of the subject that we were talking about.
Now, see, here's the problem when you send a witch out. They go too hard in the paint. See, they don't have any type of temperance or governor when it comes down to the demonization. See, witches, they have to dump all of the evil onto a person to where it becomes unrealistic. So now what this witch is trying to suggest is that Jim Jordan, unfortunately, was tied to some sexual thing going on at Ohio State, which I don't know where that's coming from. And then secondly, she's trying to say that he's a terrorist. That's right. This man right here came out and terrorized her when she did some type of testimony or something like that. Now, I mean, are you that fragile? I've seen Jim Jordan cross-examine people and put the pressure on them and try to make them be accountable for whatever they did or didn't do, or to make them provide a decent argument on their position. But I've never seen him make somebody sit there while they're trying to testify and they're scared that Jim's going to jump across that bench and jump on them and do something like a real terrorist would do. But she's using these words that she knows is so far out, but to the untrained mind might just make a connection between Jim Jordan and terrorism. Now, you should reserve these words for special occasions, for example, for actual terrorists. But note, to the left, they use these as Marxist conflict tools so that they could demonize their opponents, because that opponent, Jim Jordan, is going to be a pain in their butt. So yes, to them, he is going to be a terrorist. He's going to terrorize the left. He's going to terrorize their narratives. He's going to destroy all of their talking points. He's going to destroy their goals and objectives when it comes down to their policies. Hopefully, I believe Jim Jordan got a good shot at doing that, and Sonny knows it. So she got to go over the top to try to make him seem like he would be scary. if he got in office. And now he's supposed to be an agent of chaos.
Which made it even scarier. So to have him, the thought of him being the Speaker of the House, I think leads to more chaos for
But his role model is Donald Trump, who has no command of the language either.
And then they send in the fourth witch. They send in the dumbest witch of all. The witch that they should never even let talk. The witch with the biggest, longest nose in the whole crew, and probably got a big wart sitting right on there. What that President Trump is the one that can't. You can't command words. This woman right here, every time she opens her mouth, she embarrasses every single human on the planet, okay? But she tried to go ahead and get a little punch in, but we're not even going to mind her. We're not going to mind her. We're going to move to the second witch, okay? And what's ironic is that when these people on the left get afraid of somebody on the right, and that means not a rhino, not somebody a part of the uniparty, not somebody who they can actually control, their reactions tell you how dangerous the person is to the left, depending on one, who they trot out to attack or assassinate the person's character, and also how hard they go in on that person. So when they start pulling out big terms like terrorist, Nazi, white nationalist, all those things, that person is a legitimate threat to the left. And when they bring out sorry behind Republicans to try to justify why this person shouldn't be nominated or, appointed to be the House Speaker, that doesn't help their case. See, they're thinking that somehow by bringing out rhinos, you're going to convince legitimate MAGA Republican voters that Jim Jordan isn't legit because this rhino said something about him. So now they bring out Liz Cheney, one of the biggest rhinos ever, man.
Jim Jordan knew more about what Donald Trump had planned for January 6th than any other member of the House of Representatives. Jim Jordan was part of the conspiracy in which Donald Trump was engaged as he attempted to overturn the election.
How? See, these are the things that when you bring in a big fat rhino like this and somebody who was down with Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them for that whole J6 thing, they just throw out all kind of statements like that without being challenged. So to the rhino right there who's hating on Jim Jordan, my question becomes, what conspiracy was he involved in? Where's the communication between Jim Jordan and President Trump about what? And she said that he was a part of the conspiracy. He knew about Donald Trump's plan. What was Donald Trump's plan? Notice she never describes Donald Trump's plan. Was it written down on paper? I'm wondering, because she said Jim Jordan knew about the plan. It was a part of the conspiracy. Now, can you just get out there and lie on people like this, man, and try to destroy their character without some type of consequences? But I'll tell you what is happening. What's happening is she's once again proving that Jim Jordan is most likely legit. And number two, that this woman right here is a big fat rhino. Let's continue listening to this rhino.
Jim Jordan, if you think about the extent to which people have now said, well, it was Speaker Pelosi's fault that Donald Trump's mob invaded the Capitol.
It was.
That, the security wasn't sufficient enough.
True.
The person who knew, there were probably more than just Jim, but there was a handful of people, of which he was the leader, who knew what Donald Trump had planned.
Once again, what did Donald Trump plan? Because see, all I remember is that he said, come on up here, support the rally, and then walk over and let your voices peacefully be heard. But these Marxists and these rhinos and these globalists, they don't have to be accountable when it comes down to actual facts or evidence. They can get up there and throw out all kind of reckless statements and make it appear that these are facts. Just saying what Donald Trump has planned. And nobody in that audience says, excuse me, what did he plan? Huh? So you're telling me there's some evidence that Donald Trump was sitting around going, man, I'm about to plan an insurrection. But nobody challenges this rhino. So now she's pulling out all the stops because she wants now to discredit Jim Jordan by making him seem like he's radical, extreme, and also was an insurrectionist. He was a part of all of that too. Lump him in with Trump too, because he's dangerous to the left.
Now somebody needs to ask Jim Jordan, why didn't you report to the Capitol Police what you knew Donald Trump had planned?
What did Donald Trump have planned? You were in those meetings
at the White House. And if the Republicans decide that Jim Jordan should be the Speaker of the House, there will, and by the way, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll lose. But if they were to decide that, there would no longer be any possible way to argue that a group of elected Republicans could be counted on to defend the Constitution.
Unbelievable. See, now, that's what the witch does. Here she is coming out, going to the worst possible scenario. Witches are designed to scare you. So now here she comes out. They want to curse you. She might have a little voodoo doll or something of Jim Jordan back there poking it, mustering up some Eye of Newton, some bat wings and stuff. But ultimately, she wants to put a spell on the public. She wants to scare the public. So she's saying, if Jim Jordan gets into the speakership, wow, we can no longer count on Republicans to defend democracy. And it is the exact opposite. With real freedom-loving America first Republicans running the House and hopefully the Senate at some point, we stand the best chance ever at defending our republic. But with these rhinos and with these globalists and with these Democrats running our government, with these FBI and CIA and all of these operatives that has been operating behind the scenes, with them all still in power, we don't stand a chance. That's why they're going hard against Jim Jordan, because they're going, oh shoot, they gaining steam, man. If we mess around and start weeding out all of these rhinos, all of these bought and paid for Republicans, man, we might just mess around and lose our power, our little nest egg, our little control. And so now they're fighting like the Dickens to stop Jim Jordan from getting in there, already launching a preemptive strike against his character by sending out the witches. But she's not the witchiest of them all. They done went to the biggest witch, y'all. They done say, you know what? We only break this witch out for special occasions. Now, I cannot believe the depth of evilness that is about to come out of this last witch's mouth. It's fascinating. And I'm talking about none other than crooked.
There wasn't this little tail of extremism wagging the dog of the Republican Party as it is today. And sadly, so many of those extremists, those MAGA extremists, take their marching orders from Donald Trump, who has no credibility left by any measure.
Can you believe she just said that? Now, see, this is what burns me up, because, see, she's on the Witch Network, too, see, because that lady's sitting there and allowed her to just spew that out without even stopping to say, wait, whoa, you talking about credibility? What? Wait a minute. Hold on. Am I talking to the person who lied on Donald Trump and accused him of being a Russian agent and winning the election because of Vladimir Putin, then went one step further and paid all types of money so they can come up with a fake dossier that would try to solidify Trump as being a Russian agent? Do you have credibility to even say anything? I mean, this is the same person who destroyed Blackberries, who bleach bitted her dang on laptops and all of that. This is the same person. Benghazi, we're talking about uranium one. This is the same person. And yet she's talking about he has no credibility. The only reason she appears to have credibility is because she's sitting here on networks like this that bring her on to once again push propaganda and lie on others when she should be the one in the hot seat and question about her credibility. She never will go on a network that would start off by asking her, speaking of credibility, let's back up. So why did you pay for that dossier? Why is it that we found out when all of those people were going crazy in Trump rallies when he first ran, and folks was accusing him of being a white nationalist and throwing out these poor folks that just want to come and listen to Trump and see what he had to say, but because they were black or something, then all of a sudden Trump had them thrown out, only to find out that you were paying for these provocateurs to go in and do that, get thrown out, so y'all could paint the whole narrative that Trump was a white nationalist. So who got a dang on credibility issue? Is not Trump. It's you, crooked.
He's only in it for himself. He's now defending himself in civil actions and criminal actions. And when do they break with him? Because at some point, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members. But
what? Did y'all just hear what she said? That right there blew my mind when I heard her say that. That's why I had to stop and do the standalone video right here. Said this one can't even wait for a live stream. That woman just said there needs to be a deprogramming. This is one of the most evil humans on the globe. Honestly, I can't think of any Democrat at this point that is more corrupt and crooked and evil than Hilary Clinton. She surpasses Bill. She surpasses Joe. She surpasses Pelosi. This woman is malicious, pathological. She is a 100% sociopath. And she just got up here and suggested a tool that would be used in a real dictatorship, in a real Marxist ran government, in a real Nazi camp. She just suggested that. She just questioned the intelligence and the freedom of voters and Republicans to support who they want to support, because she done labeled that man as evil, and anybody who supports him is just as evil, and you're probably brainwashed and you probably need to be deprogrammed. Unreal that she said that, and this lady sitting here smiling. She's smiling.
Something needs to happen.
And how do you do that? Because you said you have to defeat them by defeating their leader. Their leader is Donald Trump. Even you have said that you expect him to be the Republican nominee. How does this change at all?
At this point, I think, sadly, he will still likely be the nominee, and we have to defeat him. And we have to defeat those who are the...
We have to cheat him. That's what you really want to say. We have to cheat him. That's all they're planning to do. They've been doing it ever since the last election. So now, all of a sudden, you got Jim Jordan, who is a Trump supporter, might become the House Speaker. And then you got Trump, who's probably going to be the nominee. So now they are really scared. So they said, send in the head witch. This is a job for Crooked. Nobody crookeder than Crooked. So here she is out here talking about we have to defeat him. She probably should have said we have to cheat him, because they are not going to defeat him.
Election deniers, as we did in 2020 and 2022.
Speaking of election deniers, this is the same woman who says that Trump didn't win legitimate. He knows he's not a legitimate president. But that bootleg interviewer right there didn't even bring that up. And here she is talking about defeat the election deniers and this and all of that, because only Democrats can deny elections. They're the only legitimate election deniers. All the rest of us, we're pretty much traitors to the country if we deny the election results. Yeah, we're pretty much traitors. We're insurrectionists. We're terrorists, and we need to be deprogrammed. Now, do you want a human like this in power in America? No. Let's continue.
And we have to, just be smarter about how we are trying to empower the right people inside the Republican Party.
You hear that? See, we got to be smarter about who we empower. She ain't talking about who the people want in power, who the people choose. She's talking about we, the 1%, the people who's controlling this, the deep state and her corrupt butt and all these globalists that help her and fund her and all of that other crap. See, that's what she's talking about. So instead of saying, let the people decide who they want to be in power. No. You dumb folks aren't able to make these choices. We'll pick the controllable Republicans that we want, like Cheney and the rest of them that y'all are trotting out to try to convince us that Jim Jordan shouldn't be House Speaker. They don't move the needle for us. They only encourage us, baby. They only encourage us. When you see rhinos come out and attack other real legitimate MAGA Republicans, that lets me know we're right over the target. We might have the right one, baby. And all of these voters out here know this. You're not fooling us. We know who the rhinos are. When you send Liz Cheney out there to try to, convince us that the Republican Party is in danger because of Jim Jordan, I'm saying, good. Yeah, the Republican establishment party is in danger because of Jim Jordan and others like him, like Matt Gaetz and the rest of the ones that are MAGA Republicans. Not these rhinos, and definitely not this wicked witch.
Nancy Pelosi had a majority of 5 votes when she was Speaker. Kevin McCarthy had a majority of 5 votes. Oh. Nancy Pelosi passed consequential legislation. Like what? And she clearly had members within her caucus who, ranged across a spectrum of political beliefs and ideology. And she kept everybody together, and she kept everybody focused on the future. Oh. He couldn't do that. And so he paid a price, but more importantly, the country paid a price.
The country paid a price. No, I know me personally, I'm excited about what might happen. I hope Jim Jordan wins. Okay. Don't know how it's all going to pan out. Don't even know if he's going to implement some of the things that I've been crying that the Republicans need to do. But I know he's going to be better than Kevin McCarthy, and she does too. That's why she wouldn't kind of lightweight complimented Kevin McCarthy. So they done sent in these 3 witches to go ahead and try to brew up some propaganda to discredit Jim Jordan. That means they're scared. That means these folks are going, man, we didn't see this one coming. We thought we was getting back at Kevin McCarthy and opened up a can that might even be worse. So let's see what happens, y'all. But it is amazing that this woman is still running around on TV, trying to pretend she has credibility, trying to pretend she's fighting for democracy. She's totally anti-democracy. This woman is a 100% demon in the flesh. That's what she is. And if she ever get anywhere close to power, God save America. We'll all be looking for some asylum in some other country because she would be trying to deprogram us, or cast a spell on us, one or the other. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care. Hit that like button, share my videos. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure your notification buttons are turned on to all. Subscribe to my alternative channel just in case YouTube give me the slip or something. You'll know how to find me. Don't forget to check me out with all the podcasts and follow me on Rumble in the Jungle. All the links are listed below. If you want to donate to my channel, feel free. Those links are below as well.